Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So the very basic thing about taking things personally is thinking that whatever someone is saying to you, whatever is happening around you, you first of all give your power away to it by thinking that it is true. The moment you create an agreement with any energy, you are giving permission to it. You are internalizing it. And why is it that we think that whatever they are saying about you, it's true? Even when you consciously know that it is absurd, it's them, it's not me, but still it affects you because it's triggering you. It is triggering an unhealed aspect of you. And for that unhealed aspect of you, it is true. Whatever the other person is saying about you, when someone is talking down on you, when someone is judging you, you take it personally because there is a wound within you that still thinks that it is true. So first of all, you have to become aware that what part of yourself still feels that it is not complete, it is not whole. And because we live in such a world where continuously people are being judged, we have normalized being judged. We can call it joking, sarcasm, but we go to such lengths just for a laugh where we ridicule the other person, and it is normalized. When you are growing up, your friends, your family, anyone, and sooner or later we also doing the same thing because it has been done to us. How we deal with things is very unconscious and messed up. When things are left unhealed, we do the same thing with others that happened to us. Hurt people hurt others. So first of all, you have to see this truth that even when someone is saying something to you and it is not true, but you think it is true because a certain part of you still believes in that narrative, that it is not worthy, that what others think about it is true, that it's okay to judge that part of yourself. So when you will look at it, you will see that it mostly comes from a place of shame, of non-acceptance of oneself. Basically, you are unable to accept who you are, and that's why people judge others. That's why people ridicule others. What is the core of it? Because they don't accept themselves. That's why they are judging the other. They can't see themselves in the other person. They think of the other as separate from themselves. So once you look at this truth, then it becomes easier to become the consciousness and observe everything that happens to you like a mirror. You become like a mirror. Things can come and reflect on it. You don't react. Simply stay like a mirror. And everything that was being projected on you, it simply reflects back. You don't absorb anything. You observe. So this is, I feel, one of the most important things, that you have to learn to observe instead of absorbing. You have to be in that observer space. And that comes from an understanding that you are not just the labels, the ego, you are something more. And even the other person, they are not just what they are appearing to be. They are their traumas. They're acting from that. Just think about it. If a person really loves themselves, if a person is really happy within themselves, why will they go around and judge a stranger? Why will they go around and judge anyone at all or put them down? Instead, they will say, hey, you're looking amazing today. Even to a stranger, they will appreciate them. They will not complain about them. Your perception of me is a reflection of you. So whatever others think about you, it has more to do with them and less about you. But still, because we are on the path of self-awareness, when we feel that what they said is true, we go within. We heal ourselves. Not because what they said is true, but a certain part of ourselves feel that it is true. For our own healing, we take accountability. We are not justifying what the other person did is true, because that's the reflection of who they are. And that's the issue with our present world. We are so much conditioned to focus on complaints, what's lacking. We are unable to see that what we already have. We are unable to appreciate the energy because we are conditioned to complain about energy. Our first default mindset is to go towards the complaints. So once you start changing your understanding by deeply realizing these things, and it happens on its own when you start looking at life on a deeper level, when you slow down, when you take a pause, when you start observing things, and it happens from within. If you do anything which is mechanical, to stop taking things personally, which is only from the mind, it won't work at all. You have to connect to something higher than yourself. To see from the lens of your higher self, you can't just play in the mind, play in the ego. For example, someone said something to you and it is bothering you, but you are again and again saying to yourself, it's not bothering me. What that person said has nothing to do with me. I'm not taking it personally. You're fighting with what you're feeling. That's the level of thought. That's the level of the ego. You are not observing, you are simply fighting the thought. You are not realizing that you are not the thought. You can watch the thought. So this ability to watch comes from your higher self, where you are simply watching, observing, being neutral. But when you're caught up in the mind, there is always one thought versus another thought. You are feeling that what that person said about you is affecting you, but you're saying it is not affecting me. The clash, it continuously goes in the mind. Consciousness is realizing that you are not both of these thoughts. You are observing them, you are watching them, and this requires practice. This requires giving attention and energy towards strengthening the pause, creating that spiritual muscle. Is that in your priority or not? So wherever you give your attention to, that's what you get in your life. So if you give attention towards the unconscious things, if you prefer entertainment over consciousness, drama over reflection, self-reflection, that's what you get more of. Because let's face it, meditation, self-reflection, self-awareness, these things are not entertaining for the mind. They suck. They absolutely suck for the mind. It doesn't want to be there when you're meditating. It's boring. So it's all about how you look at your life. Do you want your life to be deeper than just superficial entertainment? Do you want to be driven by the mind or be guided by the consciousness? Do you want your life to have a higher value? So it's all about your priorities. Realize the worth, the value. And if you once realize the value, if you experience that consciousness, because usually we just talk about it, but when was the last time you experienced that energy of your consciousness as a pure witness, a neutral observer? Because that experience is everything. So realize the value and power of your consciousness. Observe, don't absorb. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can like, comment, share. You can also support my work by hitting the thanks button. And please make sure to subscribe. Much love to you all.